guys, welcome to Vlogmas day 2. So I have a little story to tell you. This little story time we're gonna do, and sorry if the lighting is messed up. It's just that it's very dreary here because it's raining and stuff like that. So remember yesterday I said that I was going to be starting a new job at like a veterinarian thing, and right now I have allergies, and I'm going to tell you the whole story of how I got these allergies because I was fine this morning. And yes, I was starting this new job at this veterinary thing, and it's like just like part-time, few days a week, because I have my regular job and I'm going to school. So I just wanted to do it to get like medical experience and to be around animals, and to, you know, I love animals, to help them and stuff like that. So this is also the story of how you can get signs not to do things, but then you go ahead and do it. If you get signs don't do something, don't do it. When I woke up this morning, I felt like I shouldn't have gone. I should have listened. But I didn't listen. Why would I listen? When I went yesterday, it was looking like Shadyville, but I was like, no, it's all right. You know, it's just like, it's very disorganized. They just need to organize themselves, and it's fine, you know? So I go there today. I'm going to start from the beginning. So I go there today and I ring the doorbell like you do. And then the guy is like, oh, give me a few minutes. I'm like, a few minutes? It's raining out here. Like, what are you talking about, a few minutes? But I was like, okay. So I'm standing outside for literally a few minutes. I'm like, is he serious? Like, could it just like let me in, and then I could have just like stayed, you know, in the foyer, like in the front area while you like did whatever. But I was like, whatever. I didn't really even think of that actually. So he takes a few minutes to come, and I finally go inside, and he's showing me like where I can put my stuff and how to clock in, you know, the normal usual stuff. And then he's like working with the girl. There's a girl upstairs, and he's like working with her, and so he's going back and forth up and down the stairs, and he's finally showing me like, you know, the system and explaining everything to me. So the first thing is that he, you know how like if you have a new person, you talk slow and you don't tell them everything at once, because you tell them everything at once, it's too much information and it gets too confusing and stuff like that. Or, you know, you show them a little bit, let them do it and stuff like that. Of course he wasn't doing this, so I was following along, but you know, I'm like forgetting steps because it's going, you know, too fast and stuff like that. And while he's sitting and showing me everything on the computers, there's like a spill like on the desk, and so I was like, he goes to move one of the papers, and he sees, you know, the spill, and then I'm thinking to myself, oh, water or something must have spilled. And then he says, oh, one of the cats must have peed here last night. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? One of the cats must have peed here last night. And I'm thinking, aren't they in cages? Like, why are they just roaming around where you have computer equipment and you have important documents and stuff like that? Like, you know? And so he gets up and he goes in the back, and he comes back with a sponge, like a regular sponge that you wash dishes with, and he uses the sponge to clean the urine, right? And then he goes back, and I guess he like squeezes out the sponge, comes back, does the same thing, and does it another time. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, that's urine. Like, you don't, that's not how you clean up urine. You don't just take a sponge and wipe it. You have to disinfect and all this kind of stuff. And then I'm thinking, why is the cat peeing just willy-nilly anywhere? Because usually when you put a cat in a litter box, they're set to go, you know, unless they have some sort of infection, unless something is going on with them, right? That's why they're like just peeing anywhere. I mean, I'm not a vet tech, I'm not a veterinarian, I don't know, but just having a cat, like I used to have a cat, and I'm like, isn't there have to be something wrong with them? Unless maybe they're marking their territory, I guess. But these cats are supposed to be spayed and neutered. And another thing I noticed about the cats, okay, so animals are just walking around, right? And I'm like, whatever, you know, that's kind of cool because, like, I like animals, so that's cool for them to be walking around. But it's actually not good because it's supposed to be a professional work environment, and they're just, like, walking around, crawling on you, and, like, wanting you to pet them and stuff like that. And so then I noticed that all the cats don't have tails, and I'm like, what? And it's not like a breed of cat, you know how like certain breeds of cat they have like short tails? No, like they don't have any tails. Like they used to have, looks like they used to have a long tail, and then the tail was cut off or something. I'm like, what the freak? Because it's like 4 cats with no tails, and I'm just like, what? And then this one cat had like a patch of hair missing, and I was like, what the freak? Like, they looked healthy and fine otherwise, but I'm just like, why doesn't have no tail? And the whole time he's going back up and down the stairs with the lady who I think is a vet tech, and this seemed like it was her first day too, okay? And she's like going outside a couple of times for a breather because she's like, she can't take it upstairs, it's so like dirty and messy, she's trying to clean up there. And then he's like, oh, I don't know how it got so bad, I didn't know it was this bad, the other guy just quit. And it's like, but you're there every day, you don't know it's that bad because this is where the animals are. They were upstairs and then they were coming down. Like when I came in, the cats were coming downstairs. So it's like, this is where they are, and you can't say that you didn't know how dirty it was. Like, that's just stupid to say. So that's happening. She's going outside breathing. She's like, I can't, you know. So then he's like, you know, showing me how to organize like papers. You know how like when you work in an office, it's like this paper has to be the first one, then the second one, third one, stuff like that. So I'm like organizing the papers, and this is like a minor thing. The papers in the packet are like different from the ones he was showing me to organize, so I just put them, you know, all together because it's the same patient information. And then he was like, is that how I showed you how to do it? And I was like, no, these papers weren't a part of it. And he was like, well, redo it and do it right. And I was like, sir, thinking to myself, I didn't say it out loud, but I was thinking to myself, okay, like, I'm thinking like, this is a minor thing, you really gonna get angry and upset about that? And he was like, oh, did you sign off on it? And signing off is just like writing the date. And I was like, oh no, like I didn't sign off on the paper. He was like, but I just showed you how to do it. And I was like, strike number one. Like, I have only been here an hour. It's not like I've been here the whole day. And so I was like, okay. And so I, you know, I signed off on it. Then he's telling me to do other things. So I'm doing other things. I'm picking it up. It's not like rocket science. Like, it's, you know, once you're actually doing it, like, I'm that person that I have to do it. You can show me all you want, but let me do it. And so I'm doing it. And then he's like, okay, then you have to call the what are they called? The owners of the pets, and tell them the results of the blood test, like the doctor's result. And then he's like, then if it says like the medicine, you have to calculate the dosage. And I'm like, how am I supposed to calculate the dosage? Like, I'm not a veterinarian technician. Like, how do you expect me to do that? And it just was very disorganized, very discombobulated and stuff. So I'm sitting at the desk. It is so disgustingly dirty and dusty. There is dust everywhere. It's like you have like a book and you could see dust like just piling up and thick and just sick and disgusting. So of course your girl was sneezing, okay, because I cannot handle dust like that. Even if it's like if I'm around little dust, I start sneezing, but I was just sneezing. First I started sniffling. I thought, oh, maybe it's because of the rain, because it's raining outside. No, I was just sneezing. Like, I couldn't stop sneezing, and I'm trying to like do this stuff. I'm trying to call the people and everything, and he's going up and down the stairs, leaving me there. And he's like, are you done yet? And I'm like, yeah. I've been thinking to myself, I've been done for like 10 minutes, you know, but you upstairs helping her clean. And then I was like, you know what, I need to go outside too for like a little breather, because I just can't stop sneezing. It's so dusty, and it was like huge dust bunnies. It was disgusting. And so I go outside. So I went outside. When I went outside, I just started sneezing like a super sneeze attack. And I was talking to my sister on the phone for a little while, and then was like, I'm gonna go back there and I'm gonna tell. I was just gonna go straight home and not even go back. But I was gonna go back and tell him I'm going home. And so I go back, and he's like outside getting cleaning supplies from the car or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go home. And he was like, oh, what, is too much for you or something? I was like, no, it's not too much. Like, I figured I'll be able to get things, but it's just my allergies are like really acting up. Like, it's really bad. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, it's gonna be hard to work here if you're like allergic to dogs and cats. And I'm like, I'm not allergic to dogs and cats. Like, honestly, think about it. If I was allergic to dogs and cats, you think I would have applied for the job and stuff like that? I have a dog. I'm not allergic to dogs and cats. And I was like, it's not the dogs and the cats. And he was like, try to be smart, talking about you know, we come to work even if we have colds or allergies and stuff like that. And like, I've worked before, so it's like, I know that if you go to work, you're gonna have, you know, sometimes you have a cold, but you still have to go through work. And I was like, It's not because of that. It's because it's dirty and dusty in there. So that's why I'm sneezing. Like, he just made me mad by saying that. Like, because he said, after he said that, he said, if you can't cut it, if you can't make it. I was like, no, it's dusty and it's really dirty in there. That's why I'm sneezing. And then I was like, well, it was nice meeting you. Have a good day. And I did an about face and I walked away. So, yep, that was my little spiel for today. I had when I came home, I put on this sweater because like I was like feeling like I had the chills, and yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you. And if you have any like work horror stories, you can leave them in the comments, and I'll see you mañana tomorrow for Vlogmas day 3. Bye.